Hello, welcome to a review of a head tracker head tracking unit provided to me by Michael Greenaway. He puts these together and sells them on eBay. You can see the site right here, and I'll put the link in the description of the video. This is the latest unit. It has the MPU 9250 chip in it. Magnetometer, if I pronounced that correctly. You can see what it looks like right here, and some general description. When you first install it, you need to make sure that you've got Arduino drivers installed, and you need the edTracker GUI. You can see that over here. This is edTracker. The edTracker 9250 4.0.5 driver is the one that you want to use. Make sure that the device is flashed to whatever that latest version is when you get it. This tracker configuration here allows you to change depending on how you have the unit connected to or mounted on your headphones. Right now I have it so that the USB port is on my left, so that's why the rotate mounting axis is set to that. And I've got yaw scaling and pitch scaling that doesn't really come into effect unless once you change the amount that the head will move, or the camera will move, when you're in a game. Right now I have the response mode set to linear, and I have F11 bound as my hotkey to auto center. As you can see, if I'm looking over here and hit F11, then it's going to turn my sensor to that. So you want to make sure that you're looking straight onto your screen when you hit F11, so that you don't miscalibrate off to some weird angle. When you first get the unit, you're supposed to use this restore factory defaults mode here, and then you need to go into magnetometer tab here, and you'll do a sensitivity calibration. I urge you to take a look at the instructions, read them through a couple times, because I messed up at first and was getting really wild gesticulations, and that was my fault because I just hadn't read the documentation properly. Once you do, it's pretty smooth here. The only hiccup I ran into is that my original headset, the one that I was using at first, has two metal bands that keep the headset together at the top, and the magnetometer was attached below that on the part that rests on your head, on the strap part that rests on your head, and apparently those bands were causing some magnetic interference, because I was getting really, really wild head motions, very jerky head motions. It kept on acting like it was losing signal. And so I switched the tracking unit to a different headset. This one's just got a flat top, and it seems to behave itself a lot better. So you do need to be cautious that the headset that you're using is either not filled with a lot of ferrous material, or you have some way of attaching it that doesn't require it to be under or interfered with by those supports on your headset. So here we are in Elite. Now, what I did to just set up the head tracking to begin with is I put myself into one of the training scenarios, so that I would have a place where I could mess around with this without potentially harming my anaconda.
I've got a tip-off for you, Commander. Potential bounty hunting opportunity. The target should be passing through this sector soon. Don't worry, you got this. There he is, right on time. Don't get too excited, though. Before you engage, you need to make sure he still has a bounty on his head. Target his ship to scan him. Right, he's definitely your mark. Time to deploy your hard points, Commander. Commander.
Okay, so as you can see,
Your little friend here has a combat rank of harmless. Seems to have left the hangar without any shields, so you should be able to make light work of him.
yes, okay, the trainer is a little bit talkative. But as you can see, I have just enabled the head looking, and as I turn my head, the camera moves around so I can follow the motion. So let's just take out this guy here.
Just a few hits should do it, Commander. You've got this one.
Pretty.
Nice work, Commander. You're about 3,000 credits richer. Bad news is, it looks like his buddy is out for revenge. This target might put up more of a fight, so I'd say more firepower's in order. Might want to switch to your secondary fire group to bring your pulse laser online.
As you can see,
It would be much easier to dispatch this target with some pulse lasers. Switch your fire group.
Where are you? There you are.
To really gain the upper hand in combat, use the ship's power distribution to its full potential. Shifting the power between systems, engines, and weapons will mean you have power where you need it, when you need it. This target won't put up much of a fight, so I'd suggest you put full pips to weapons. Stay on him, Commander. There's not a lot of fight left in him.
There's enough. Where are you? Hey now. Much.
I'm impressed, Commander. Just remember, it pays to know your enemy. Not all targets will crumble so easily, so I suggest you choose your fights wisely.
So here I am at port. I'm going to take a look around as I launch my ship. It's kind of cool. You can look around and see parts of the animation cycle that you wouldn't normally see if you lock to the front of your ship. Another nice thing about having head look is that you can actually look up and watch for traffic overhead, so you don't run into ships that are going to fly right into you, because NPC pilots can't fly much better than your average driver on the highway. Now, something I have not decided is whether or not I should keep the head look on when I'm trying to exit the station, And as you can see here, it creates a bit of an issue. As I proceed to try to merge with the exit of the board. Yep. Okay, so once I've got myself unstuck and listened to the annoying voice on the controller telling me, hey, get out of the way, you're blocking the entrance. So we're going to get out here, we'll take a look around. The tracking on the head sensor is pretty sensitive. You can adjust those settings. You can set some, I forget what the setting is called, but some smoothing so that it's not as jerky. Trying to line myself up with the port so you can get a better view of it through the canopy. And you can see as you look around the ship, your view will trigger some of the in-flight interface elements. Like when I was looking up to the left there, you saw the communications box light up. Get into Super Cruise here, take a little whirl around the planet so I can line up for a jump to hyperspace. And here I am just taking a look around the cockpit a little bit. You can see your pilot's hands move, and we're lining up with the location I want to dock with. So something worth noting is that the unit comes with some Velcro to attach to the bottom of the unit and then to the top of your headset so that you can secure it in one place. The only downside to that is that if you happen to run into the situation where I did, where the headset was actively interfering with the function of the unit, then you're going to end up with a lost piece of Velcro, and you'll have to find some other way to attach the unit to the headset you end up getting to work with this. It does come with 2 or 3 zip ties, little plastic zip ties that you can use to secure the unit as well. I didn't have as much luck with that because the headsets I like tend to have a thicker band, and between the thickness of the unit itself and the thickness of the headband, the zip ties were just a little bit too short to make it work. So that's just something to keep in mind, that you might want to find some temporary means of securing the unit to make sure that your head tracker and the headset work together. So here I am approaching Ceres Tarn. I thought I'd show off one of the other aspects to using a head tracking unit like this. It gives you a little bit more flexibility when you're flying around trying to get your bearings. As you can see, coming in here, I will turn myself to the side so that I'm lined up with where I want to land on the planet. But as I go into orbit, I have to keep my nose pointed significantly away from the target, which makes it hard to keep an eye on it. So that's just a neat use for something like this. Unfortunately, I was not able to record any combat because my Anaconda is not put together right now for combat. It's mainly for hauling, and I've been trying to optimize it so I can take some long distance exploration here. Maybe go find some other place to be other than where the aliens are going to be landing. So thank you for joining me for this review. If you're interested in low-cost head tracking, certainly give Michael Greenaway's service a look. A decent alternative, I think, to the $150 units that you can buy from other manufacturers, and as long as you do some a little bit of research ahead of time on your headset and making sure that your headset doesn't interfere with it, I think it'll serve you quite well. Thanks again for joining me. I hope you have a great day, and maybe I'll see you out there flying around the galaxy.